Hello, good evening, and it's a pleasure to see you once again, coronavirus-free. This is Eye on Port, a program that's designed to bring the port and maritime industries activities closer to you and also you closer to the port. It is proudly brought to you by the Ghana Revenue Authority, the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, Ghana Community Network Services, West Blue Consulting, Goyle Company Limited, and Serene Insurance. Media partners, Business and Financial Times. And tomorrow at 8:30 p.m. an abridged version of this program will be aired on GH1. Also at 8:30 p.m. on Wednesday, abridged version of the program should be aired on Ghana Television. If you get a copy of the Tuesday edition of the Business and Financial Times, there's a whole page dedicated for the maritime industry and particularly this program. You should also see the schedules of the vessels that are bringing your goods into this country. Folks, we're still on this coronavirus business and its ramifications or effects it has on businesses, particularly businesses that we are interested in, the trade and maritime industry, the port industry. We had some sort of restricted movement announced by the president last week, and ever since Monday of last week, the entire country, almost everybody, I should say, Greater Accra, Kumasi, some part of Kumasi, and the entire Tema area, we've been restricted as far as movement is concerned. Now, a lot of people were wondering whether this was going to have some effect on the port activities, and people wanted to know what sort of restricted measures that are being put in place within the port industry. We're going to discuss that today. So we'll look at the effects of some of the restrictions, that is, if there are restrictions at all within the port clearance business as we speak. In the meantime, a number of issues are running around the port, and minority in Parliament is kicking strongly against this UNIPASS technology system that's supposed to replace other vendors within the port. Let's listen to that. We'll be back.
The minority in Ghana's parliament has kicked against the replacement of GCNet and West Blue systems with the UNIPASS technology by Ghana Link. Emmanuel Amakofibua, the member of parliament for Elembele constituency, questioned the legitimacy of the processes leading to contracting the new company that is expected to handle the new government customs management reforms.
Company international business follow your procurement embrano. Your training procurement law be one follow your sole source.
He questioned the reliability of the UNIPASS technology which government has contracted for the new customs management reforms.
Companies now, GCNet West Blue no omo track recording ye omo adwuma ye omo nimbi, in fact omo shada nye adwuma bi.
Emmanuel Amakofibua also stated the financial consequences of terminating contract
from year 1 to year 10 no esa bent a total of 93 million. Between year 1 and 12 million to 93 million. No one is say na the end termination charges no kura also same contract in figure na ngasa.
The representative of the minority also lamented the legal contentions ongoing between the incoming vendors and their predecessors GCNet and West Blue on copyright infringement, pointing it as one of the many reasons the country should cease to engage UNIPASS.
Technology company fufura from on UNIPASS no money ban. Yeah, because GCNet ne West Blue. They are court to say copyright and violate until court or more air tries or more stop one. Now you can once a year is a court to see how AD GCNet no crash some of contract here your port is getting a
Okay, so we'll move away from the UNIPASS technology saga, and we're going to talk about our subject for today, which is affecting everything that we're doing. That's the coronavirus or the COVID-19 pandemic and its ramifications. First of all, the International Maritime Hospital is saying that they have devised some telemedicine procedures that you can take big time advantage of. Also, the Director General of the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority this week went around together with some of his senior management staff to inspect most of those operational areas within the port and be assured that people are observing some of the social distancing measures and doing all the right things, and also encourage them to do business.
With the aim to prevent the spread of coronavirus while continuing to provide efficient healthcare for its customers, the International Maritime Hospital is encouraging the general public, especially prospective clients, to take advantage of its telemedicine program. According to the head of clinical services of the International Maritime Hospital, its telemedicine procedures allows both existing clients and potential clients of the hospital to consult doctors via the internet, where they can even take delivery of medications in cases where they are not necessarily required to be physically present at the hospital.
The good thing is that because it is a video consultation, so we can actually see you, we can send you prescriptions. We also have the added service where if you want us to deliver medications to you, we would actually deliver in Tema and Accra.
This, she explained, is in the vein of ensuring IMaH reduces the human traffic at the hospital to the barest minimum while continuing to make healthcare readily available within the current circumstances of ensuring physical distancing among people.
By so doing, you reduce the number of people who are coming into the facility so that we help prevent the spread of COVID-19.
She said in completing this initiative, the International Maritime Hospital has deployed the standard measures of screening at the entry and exit points of the hospital, providing soaps and running water, hand sanitizers at vantage points in the hospital's facilities, as well as observing strict social distancing among staff, clients and patients.
So for visitors, we are having visitor restrictions, and we're saying that for those who are inpatient, you don't have more than 2 visitors. We've restricted it to 2 visitors, so you have the same 2 people coming to visit you all the time.
Dr. Helen Tete also revealed that her outfit is encouraging the proper use of nose masks, which have been identified as critical towards the prevention of the spread of the coronavirus.
The whole thing is that once you are using this, you shouldn't touch this part. You shouldn't touch your face. All the time you have it on, and then when you're taking it off again, you shouldn't touch this. This part is a clean part, so you take it out in that way. The worst part is when you see people do this in town. You see them, they have tried this, and this thing is hanging there like that. That is really horrible.
One may call or WhatsApp the International Maritime Hospital on 055-222-2290 to access the telemedicine service or for further enquiries. The Director General of the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, Michael Luguji, has conducted another random inspection in operational areas within the Tema Port. The move is to encourage staff and port users in the midst of the current temporary restrictions on non-essential works and movements nationwide. DG's visit also seeks to ensure workers and stakeholders who have business to do in the port continue to observe health and safety protocols towards the prevention of spread and importation of coronavirus. The DG of GPHA visited the Revenue Center, Transit Terminal, the Golden Jubilee Terminal and the main harbour, which are generally the areas that experience the most human traffic. The DG first inspected the level of social distancing observed among workers and port users while conducting their duties, as well as solicits from the various managers challenges that are being faced in their efforts to ensure a secured and safe working atmosphere at the port amid the current predicament. Currently, the state is observing restrictions on movements and jobs or operations that are not considered critical or essential in the Greater Accra region and some parts of the Ashanti region, following a directive by the President Nana Akufo-Addo to enhance government's efforts to contain the spread of coronavirus in Ghana. However, the ports of Ghana are considered essential and expected to be in operation during the period of the temporary restriction on movements and work due to the significant role the ports plays to ensure continuity in the economic life of the country.
Okay, so quite a number of things going on around the port. Activities are also going on. Clearances happening in businesses going on there. My guest in the studio is Mr. Yao Che, President, Association of Customs House Agents, ASHAG. Mr. Yao Che, good to see you. Is it ASHAG or ACHAG? ACHAG. Yeah. Okay. I have been trying all this, so I don't know why today I said ASHAG. Mr. Joseph Eduche is the Assistant Commissioner of Customs, Tema Sector Commander. Mr. Eduche, good to see you, sir. Mr. Gavin Amavi is the Corporate Monitoring Manager, Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority. My personal person and boss. Boss, good to see you.
Thank you.
And it's your first time here, so Mr. Che says I should bully you small.
remember you are a sailor.
Yes, senior from Bob Jones Secondary School as well. On that note, let me just say happy birthday to one of our own, Kojo Opon Kroma, the Minister for Information. It's your birthday, and you've been doing wonderfully well. I know that you don't rest, particularly within this period. You're really working hard for country. Good luck. Okay, so we're talking about the effects of the temporary restrictions on port clearance operations in Ghana. And Mr. Mavi, we saw you in the video with the Director General moving around. If you can throw more light on activities now as it is within the port space. Are there restrictions in any form of activities compared to before?
First of all, let me take this opportunity to wish all the viewers a happy Palm Sunday today. Even though we are being restricted, we now will have to start observing the Passion Week already.
So you did your mass in your room?
Yeah, we have to do that in our room. Now, virtually, that's as you see, just like other areas in the economy, the port is significantly affected because we form part of the economic chain, and by now we do not have normal operations. We are saying we are not in normal times. So for us, as an institution, we have been certified, we are also certified. So we already had in place some form of emergency response plans, okay, and business continuity plan.
Okay.
So this is the time that we really have to test whatever plans that we have in place. So without much delay, what we quickly had to do was to put in place a committee, interagency committee, which comprises of most of the agencies in the system. We have Port Health as part, and then we have Customs as part of that agency committee, Ghana Navy, Immigration, and then most of our people from the port and harbours area. And with this committee, we have the incident commander being our head of medical services, Dr. Anab. So quickly, we decided to put certain guidelines and measures in place. In the setup of our GPHA, we have, at this time, tried to regulate staff. We have divided staff and rotating them. Some of them we have asked to work from home because with the directive, we're supposed to look at the issue of overcrowding. We needed to observe some social distances and the rest. So quickly we had to take some of them out. Some have started their leave and some are working from home to beef up those who are on site. And then quickly what we have also tried to put in place SOPs and guidelines at the various operational disciplines. So we have already put in place measures as to how we have to board vessels, receive vessels in the port, and as to how we have to even work at the operational areas. Okay. What we are trying to do is to try to reduce crowdiness in the port operation. Okay. Initially, when the government gave the directive, the president gave the directive, we thought that it was only going to be restricted to essential goods and other specific goods like food items, drugs, and other things. But fortunately for us, when we had our maiden meeting the Assistant Commissioner was with us. He hinted us that they were certain and they were going to give us details as to the types of goods that we're going to handle. Okay. So they came out that we had to handle everything, even some goods that are already on the high seas.
Okay, so now you're handling all goods. You are clearing all goods.
Yes.
I see. Okay, so let me just say I was trying to check up if we could find Mr. Ayana Imoro on the line as well. And I'm told that we have him on the line, so we can see him from a distance. He's a distance guest that we have. Mr. Ayana Imoro, good evening. Can you spot us from where you sit? Hello?
Yes, please, I can.
Okay, so Mr. Ayana Imoro is our distant guest. Now, he's observing us from the corner of his, in his home, and he's a council member, Ship Owners and Agents Association of Ghana. So when it comes to the shipping lines and the issues that pertain to the shipping lines, we're going to have him respond to some of them. The number that you can contribute this program on is 055-901-9177 if you have a message to send to us. 055-901-9177. That's if you're expecting goods from the port and you thought that this shutdown or lockdown or whatever it is, restricted movement is affecting the port's activities. No, business is as usual. So if you have any concerns, questions, you can send them to us. You see, what about customs? Ever since we got the announcement of the movement restrictions, people not allowed to come, move around easily and all of that, has there been any change when it comes to the port activities?
Thank you. There has been a drastic change. Before a partial lockdown came, we anticipated that container inflow would be reduced, and therefore, on the part of GRA customs, we got directives, circulars from Commissioner General and Commissioner to do some what we call batching, and then to do rotational scheduling, whereby we group officers into teams, and then allow some of us to stay in the house, and then others will come to us, so that after a week or two, those in the homes will come and take over whilst others will go. We foresaw that volumes will come down because we did data analysis, and we realized that every year, January and then January, when we have the Chinese anniversary, they lock down for one month. So other importers, others are not forthcoming. Okay. And then just after they wanted to come, and then we had the coronavirus scare. And so we were told to plan. And so in order not to forestall activity in the port, because the president said that cargo was not affected, part of the restrictions. And then therefore, when the partial lockdown came and people were supposed to stay indoors, customs being part of the security apparatus of Ghana was mandated to work at the port. Port was open as well as all the borders. A circular came that those of us who had health issues like cancer, those of us suffering from cancer, those who have diabetes, and then the rest, should be asked to go home.
Okay,
and
so those who have underlying health conditions
were asked to go home, okay. And those who wanted on their own to go on leave were asked to go home. Even the narco intense, 85% of them were asked to go home. But when we realized that they stayed at various locations. We couldn't pick them. We didn't want them to come on their own. We didn't want them to use
commercial
buses. We wanted to go and pick them, but we realized that it was not feasible, and so we asked them, those who couldn't come should stay at home. So now, just a few of the interns are working, and then all the national service personnel were asked to go home to take leave, and then now those who are at home, all the days they are spending at home will be used as a annual leave. So you shall deduct from the annual leave.
I see.
And then from custom point of view, we are still doing the hand washing, the sanitizing of the hands, the nose masking, and then the social distance. So when you come to long room now, we have put this in vertical bucket with soap and everything, so that those who are coming to do business with us will wash their hands and then before they come.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, work at the port is the same, only that work has slowed down. And then when the announcement came that we should observe partial lockdown, starting from Monday 1 a.m. just before it happened, the Commissioner General issued a circular that those who are doing business with customs, like the agents or the claim agents, need a pass or a permit from customs. So around 2 p.m. on Sunday, the commissioner called me and said that I should meet the executives of all the agencies and then talk to them and see how we are going to draw a modality for the issuance of passes. I met them, and then we had a lengthy discussion, but some were not in favor
of having the special passes.
So I had to rule and said that those who needed the passes, I was in my office, you come, I will serve you. Because it was a national security directive, and customs is a security operator. The commissioner attended the security meeting, and they came out that we must regulate movement of people. Okay. And therefore, I had to carry out the instructions given to me. And then we started issuing the passes, and then just before it was about 1 a.m., I was able to serve one. And now, thinking that the passes will come to end, I was told to issue the pass up to Tuesday. Okay. But when it was about to expire, I called the commissioner. The commissioner said that no, continue with the pass, because national security pass was not forthcoming. So now I'm still issuing the pass.
Okay. What's the duration of this pass that you are issuing? How long does it have to last?
Yeah, it is a temporary pass. It's a temporary pass.
So you issued it on Monday. How long does it have to last?
Yeah, I issued the first one on Monday, and I was given that it should last on Tuesday. By that time, the national security one would have come, but it didn't come. And so I was told to issue up to Friday. And then I told the commissioner that if I issue and it didn't come, I have to be repeated. So I made it open, but I made it a temporary pass, thinking that the national security one will come, and then the custom pass will cease.
Okay, but would you need a national security one, or you think that so far, per the ones you have issued so far is working for you and is working for the processes, or you still think that national security should issue passes to the operators or the freight forwarders before they can use the ports?
Oh, if I am asked to continue, Yeah, I have to continue, but I don't think any pass will come from the national security.
Okay. So far it appears that we're going to stick with the customs pass.
Yes.
Mr. Mavi, GPHA passes as well. You were issuing passes in addition to what customs was also issuing?
We are still issuing.
Okay.
We were and we are still issuing.
Okay.
So what we have put in place is that we've put a template on our website for the various category of port users. We have the shipping agents, we have that for the freight forwarders, then we have that for the stevedores and other port operators. So what we want people to do, or what we have asked them to do, is you go to that site. If you have work to do, you download your area of operations, and then you have certain areas to complete for us to enable us access, okay, and then give you. But what we also do not want is that people coming into offices and then we are still going to transfer some of these things, this virus or whatever it is. In order not to, yeah, physical contact, we want it to be out. So you send us a mail, we assess, looking at your job, we are likely to ask you questions, the number of people. We even will ask you further whether you have also started looking at cutting down your numbers, trying to reduce, trying to work from home, trying to rotate your staff to enable us fulfill what the president has said. So when we approve of that and issue the permit, we send a mail back to you, and then you can print the permit from wherever you are, and then you start working with it. You indicate the number of people, the number of days, the period which you want to work, the type of operation that you want to handle. And ever since we started, this has been working perfectly.
Okay.
You know, GPHA has also come out with a situation where we have cut off all private visitors to our offices, and we've tried to reduce people trooping into our offices, and we are encouraging clients to talk more to us on phone and use the mailing system or talk about virtual system to enable us be able to communicate and give you some inquiry response.
Okay.
But we do not want a situation where if you do not have any critical issue, you will not, you just walk and come into the port, just like those days that people converge into the port and be looking at
that has been restricted.
Yes, it's been restricted.
Okay.
Seriously.
So you're saying that all these questions or questionnaires in the form of a template which you send online,
yeah,
for the people to...
It is at the website.
It's on the website, the
GPHA
website.
Yeah.
Okay. So are you still accommodating physical presence of people coming into the port to get some of these passes?
We are not.
Okay. You still want everybody to use the online?
Yes.
To
you
apply?
You send us a mail, you apply, and then we give you the permit.
And that's what you've been doing for the past week, 1 week?
Yes, 1 week.
I see. And people have complied? What's been the compliance level?
They've complied, and I think they are very much appreciative of that system.
Okay. Who are the categories of people who are required to have these passes? You talk about permits.
Yeah.
You talk about the freight forwarders? Or?
Freight forwarders, we have that for freight forwarders. And even as part of the freight forwarder, there's a footnote indicating that we should encourage or discourage our consignees and cargo owners from coming to the terminals. They should trust the freight forwarder and work through them so that the numbers will reduce. Then we have the shipping lines, the shipping agents. Then we have that of the stevedores, shore handlers. We have haulage, truck haulage. In fact, all other port users, they have the templates also to complete. And then you are allowed to indicate the list of your staff you want to come to work. And then we'll look at that and assess before we give you the permit. Yeah.
What about the transit countries, the landlocked neighbors who also use our ports? What's the process like for them?
It's the same process because they have agents working for them. We recognize them.
Okay.
The Niger, Burkina Faso,
Mali,
and all those, we recognize them and then we issue them the permit.
Okay. What I want to also find out from you is, if I have the GPHA permit, do I still require a customs permit? Maybe easy. Do I need both permits before I can come into the port to do business at this point in time?
For us, what we're looking at is whichever you are able to get will be helpful. But for us, if you also get the permit from the AC, GRA, it helps us to really accept and assess, because don't forget, even the freight forwarders, we try to look at for the declaration numbers. What if you have put in a declaration and it's accepted? Then that gives us the opportunity to say, yes, you really have business to do in the port. So when we had a meeting on Sunday afternoon, and they were talking about issuing temporary passes, we were very much in agreement with that, because that will also help us to be able to confirm that you really have business to do.
Okay, but is the customs permit a prerequisite to having the GPHA? Not necessarily.
Not necessarily.
Okay.
Not necessarily.
And Issy, what about your end? Do you still require, if the person has a GPHA pass, you still require them to have a customs permit before, aside the ID card? So if you have a freight forwarder who has his own ID card, he's got a GPHA permit, does he require a customs permit before they can process their stuff?
Yes, our job is such that we cannot do it from the house. Because part of it, you can stay in your house and do it. But when it comes to examination per se, we need the physical presence of agents or the owner to come so that containers will be open. And therefore, the pass enables us to know those who have work to do at the port. And so when you have goods to clear, you see us, and then we interview you and see that, yes, you have work to do at the port, then we issue you the pass so that will enable you to move from your house, because it is recognized by the security agents. When you show it to them that, yes, I have a pass from the sector commander, it is not me alone, it is all over the country, because we have something we call source and then the destination pass. If you are in Kumasi and you want to come to the port to clear, the agent or the forwarder will talk to the importer, I'm going to clear your goods. Are you prepared to come? And then when he says, yes, clear, I'm coming, then the sector commander, if in Kumasi, we issue you with a pass. That is the source. So wherever you are coming from, the pass will be given you so that to enable you to leave Kumasi and come to Accra or somewhere. And then if you are in Tema and you want to clear the goods, you come and then we interview you and then we issue you the pass. And then when the driver or the truck is coming to take the goods, then the same pass will be issued so that you can move. You can move from wherever you are coming to come and convey the goods. And so it's very necessary, because it's a national security directive.
Okay. So who, again, with your customs, who are the categories of people you issue your permits to? Importers, freight forwarders, cargo owners,
yes.
Shipping lines? Who are the categories that you have stipulated?
We issue to freight forwarders, importers, truck drivers,
okay, truck drivers,
and then cargo handlers.
Okay.
Yes, all of them. If you come.
They all have to come physically to customs office?
Yeah. You have to come. You have to come so that we interview you.
Before you can have access to the permit. But isn't there a way you can have the online version, or you require the physical presence of all these people before you can issue your permits? Could you have opted for the online as well? One, again, like maybe Mr. Mavi said, to reduce the physical contact that the operators would have with you, and also for ease purposes. I
don't think it works, because if it is online, people can upload, people can download, and then if the person hasn't got any business import, the person can load. Because there was a point when people were copying, were duplicating, and the security people didn't accept. So we need the stamp, the original stamp from the sector commanders, and then the signature, the live one, before you be admitted.
Okay. Yes. Have you limited the number of importers that come around in the ports?
Yes. By now we don't give the pass to the individuals, okay, but it's given to the agencies.
Okay.
Agencies. So by so doing, we have limited. At first, we started with 2, and then when we see that there is much request, then we increase it. So now we are giving it to 3.
Okay. Let me go on the line and talk to Mr. Yana there. He uses the port space, his organization, the shipping lines. And then I would also be talking to the core users, that's the freight forwarders. But Mr. Yana, if you can hear me, what is the level of change that you or your outfit has also witnessed within this period of restrictions? Hello, Mr. Ayana.
Thank you, Samuel, and thank you, the viewers. Can you hear me, please?
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear, sir.
Okay, I mean, we anticipated, prior to this lockdown, what all the shipping lines did was, actually to start scaling down on activities or movement of staff. So, like you know, when the paperless process started, we took it quite seriously. And prior to that, even we had a few of our activities also on the e-platform. So, to the best of my knowledge and to the best of the ability of the shipping lines, we have continued with that skeleton staff and even further reduced people in the offices to practice social distancing and also safety. And we are accommodating people as much as possible on all the e-channels.
Okay. And have you also, or have your members also been acquiring these permits and passes that the customs and GPHA have put in place?
Yeah, we would say it's more primarily to do with GPHA, because then we have 2 activities to look at. We have the port operation bit, that is those who would be attending to the vessels, and then we have the office duties also. We have some terminal activities, but we can look at just these 2 key areas. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, GPHA, and I must commend them. I mean, initially, yes, there were a few delays here and there, but between ourselves and GPHA, I'll say we started talking even before the lockdown. So okay. I wouldn't say it was seamless, but under the circumstances in our environment, it was seamless. And I think we should give GPHA the thumbs up for these passes that they put in place. So yes, we are observing it. We are getting it timely.
Okay, but has there been any effect that you can recount as a result of these restrictions that we've seen within this period from your line's perspective?
As to the numbers, it will be a challenge to really gauge right now. We'll do the assessment after this week. We had issues where, as usual, people wanted to push in. We had people still trooping in. What we have done is to encourage them to use the banks and to use our platform. The numbers, I would say, it's just okay, because don't forget that prior to the lockdown, the shipping lines have generally been impacted, especially from Asia. You know, the Chinese New Year, etc. Just around that time, you have cargo volumes down. But okay. The interesting thing is, prior to that, Europe and Americas and the rest of the world were okay. We wouldn't say the volumes were what we expected. They've dropped a little bit, but were definitely okay. So we expected and we hoped that people would have taken delivery even before the lockdown. But suffice to say, this is where we are. We say that now the numbers are drastically reduced. We hardly see people coming in, and people are really abiding by using the e-channels.
Okay. I'll come back to you to talk about some of the restricted procedures that Mr. Mavi talked about. We'll talk about disembarking and embarkation of crew crew members of vessels and all of that, and how that is playing out from your members. But Mr. Yachi, the freight forwarders, all these things have come up and they were not there before just last week. The week before, you could move freely, come into the port, clear. Now you require all these passes. How has that changed your movement around the port space?
Oh, thank you very much. Freight forwarders, we saw these things coming up somewhere in February. In our various offices, we will be able to indicate whether the workload has gone down or has gone up, especially with the influx of this COVID-19. We realized that our principals or the importers were drastically reducing their imports. So even before the president even came up, we had even announced to our various members through our Committee of Freight Forwarder Association, COFA, that as much as possible, let us reduce our staff strength in various offices. Now, if it is possible to, let your office staff also remain in their various homes and even send their declarations. So the foresight, we had it. And we saw it. My office, for example, I did it even before the president even came out with the lockdown.
That there was a possibility to cut restrictions of
the
movement.
The risk of all members, all staff members trooping to the port and coming back to the long room and other various places, we realized that it was quite a danger to all of us. So we had even started discussing this on our various platforms, and COFA even issued a statement on that, as much as possible, if you can, please reduce your staff strength. So we had even done this even before the official lockdown came up about a week or so ago. Now, the problem we had was the fact that we had a problem of essential goods to be cleared or all other goods to be cleared. So we're still stuck in the middle, not knowing what next to do.
Still now?
Now it's been cleared. Initially, yes. Now, initially, too, were not mentioned as part of the critical workers. So we are still in the dilemma, not knowing where we have to place ourselves, whether we have to go to work or we should stay in our various homes. But a day or two after the beginning of the program, yes, now we got to know that we were supposed to go to work, and that we also all other goods could be cleared. The other issue problem we also had was that some of us staying outside Accra, Tema. How to transport yourselves to Tema or to Accra or to come and clear. That was another big issue. So we realized that initially we had all these problems, but we were trying to sort them out. Now suddenly we had the problem of how do you move away from your house or the various homes to the office or to the long room or to the bank or to the port, main port. Now I think the president also took care of going to the bank, that if you want to go to the bank, you can go. Now the freight forwarder doesn't only have to go to the bank. After going to the bank, we need to go to the long room and we need to go to the port too and the other terminals. Yes, but then the issue is that how do you move away from your home to the various terminals or for the port operations? Customs came up and said that yes, we have to issue passes to you. GPHA is also saying that we have to issue passes to you. Again, the freight forwarder found himself in a dilemma, where to go to. The information minister also came out and said that if you have your ID, if you're able to identify yourself as part of a group that have been mandated to continue operations, you are allowed to move. So we realized that, do I have to come down with my ID card? At the moment, we have the various association ID cards, we have GPHA ID card, and we have MPS ID cards. Of course, even these are even biometric. So we thought that they were a bit more authentic, and ours too was a backup for these ID cards. So we were discussing with them that, why didn't you allow us to move from our various homes with these ID cards to the operational areas? Now, if Customs is saying that Customs, we are issuing passes, the sector commander will bear me out of that. On the very first day that he tried issuing passes, it was almost a mess at the long room.
What was the difficulty?
The difficulty was in the congregation. The very issue we're trying to avoid.
The physical distance.
Physical, yes. It was a mess there. And we couldn't even track who were even collecting these passes. Company A, company B, how do even anybody can just go in and collect a pass? Now, the issue is that if I'm in the house the next day, Monday morning, and I want to come to work, and the pass is in the long room, how do I come there?
The last time we spoke with him was Sunday, around the same time, and he mentioned that you were supposed to secure the pass that same day, before the next morning, which was when the lockdown was supposed to start.
Possible. He again said that we need to consult our clients, our principals, and ask them, are you ready to clear the consignment? Before I even go in for the pass. Gavin also said the same thing. GPHA also said the same thing. That before you even come to the port, be sure that your client is ready to take delivery of the consignment. If my client is not ready, I wouldn't even dare go there to take the risk of moving from the house from Afenia to the long room. Now, if the passes too are in the long room, how do I move away from my house, even Committee 2, to the port
to come and get your
And
this you are referring to, this will be very relevant for the first day, the Monday.
For the first day,
because that's when you are supposed to secure the permit.
Even as at now, customs is still insisting that we use the passes.
Yes.
But fortunately for us, the information minister has made it categorically clear that we can use our ID cards.
Okay.
We took this opportunity and also met the national security in Tema, and they subtly asked us that, okay, for the meantime, while the issue is still being resolved, we can still go ahead with our passes. And fortunately, movement from our various homes as at now, with the security agents, we haven't had too many problems with them.
Okay.
They
understand.
They continue to accept our passes, and we have been moving, and we are not abusing it too.
Okay.
We are definitely not abusing it. Now, what do I want to do? Move away from Afenia, from Teshi to Tema. If I don't have anything doing there, and our freight forwarders too are so well-minded that they know the risk involved, especially coming in contact with the foreigners and at the port there. We know the risk involved. So fortunately for us, we are not abusing it at all. So many of the companies have reduced their staff strength.
The freight forwarding companies.
For the freight forwarding companies. So many of these companies also even operate their office staff operate from the various homes. So the only places that we normally need physical presence will be at the handling depots, terminals, or for examination purposes.
Okay.
That we need to go there.
I think we have the information minister's soundbite, which will probably play for you to listen. But what I understood from him after I asked him the question whether freight forwarders and all the other operators were supposed to get passes to come in, a special pass, was that you could use the ID card.
Yeah.
However, he was also emphatic about the fact that critical operators are the ones allowed within the port. Now, how do you decipher who is an essential operator within the port at this particular space? Then the agencies have to decide that, okay, we believe that so and so has a business to do within the port, within this particular space. And so those are the people we are identifying with this special pass. Otherwise, I mean, a lot of people have ID cards, and they can all decide to come. Maybe they don't even have business to do around there. But for the fact that they want to move and they have an ID card, they can easily move. But for the agencies to also restrict and show that this man has a critical business or essential business to do within the port, they decided to issue these passes. Don't you think that also makes a point, and they are justified in doing that?
No, not really justified. You see, there are passes. For example, the sector commander is telling you he uses the pass for only 2 days. The first time it was only for 2 days.
Awaiting that of national security.
Which never came, and which he is still sure will never come.
Yeah.
As of now. 1 week has gone. 1 week has gone. And the first ones he gave us were only for 2 days. Now the issue is that, how do I move away from my house to the port to work? And he gave only 2 or so for every company. 2 for every company. Let's assume you have 5 or 6 containers to clear.
Okay.
You need about 2 or 3 operational staff to do that.
Okay.
You will need your driver, the truck drivers. How many truck drivers? About, even the containers are 5. You need 5 truck drivers. Aside that, even their mates. How do you move all of them from wherever they are, from Nima, from Abusokan, wherever, to the port to offer these services?
Okay. Okay.
Aside that, we are even talking about our importers, our principals. If Mr. Nyantachi stays at Kaneshi or stays at Achimota, and we have to take delivery of his consignment on the Spintex road, how does he move from what do you call it, Achimota to Spintex road, even to take delivery of the goods, to offload the goods, plus the laborers? These were some of the naughty problems that we are having, that we thought that we needed to sit down. Now, the problem was that when all these things initially, when they were planning, freight forwarders were all excluded. We were never involved in these things. Well, we believe that when some of these problems come up, let us all come together. Let us sit down and draw a master plan for implementation. Immediately, some of us are excluded. The implementation becomes very difficult because we play a very, very, very critical role in these the processes. Without us, government revenue would definitely suffer.
You don't think because of the time of announcement also played a significant, because it was a Friday?
You could have said done better. The whole of Saturday, the whole of Sunday, you could have said done better. You could have said done better.
Your importers, how are they taking this? Have they all agreed to trust you and leave everything on your shoulders for you to act on their behalf?
As of now, they are really having problems. There are a lot of goods that are still at the port, not knowing what to do. Some of them.
Why?
Yes, because they don't know how to move from their homes to their offices.
No, but you know how to move from your home, so they can rely on you.
And now you are telling us we need 2 passes even to move from our homes, from here to Tema to Accra, from Afenya to Accra, to go and collect their checks.
And you have been assessing the process, haven't you?
Before they even give you the check, they need to move from their homes to the offices to go and write the checks for you.
Okay. Okay. What about the shipping lines? Have you been okay with dealing with the shipping lines within this period?
Yeah, we haven't had any problem with the shipping lines. I must congratulate the shipping lines. And most of them have now even reverted to the payment. You can even receive your invoices online, which we were doing already. But I think we've had a few more who have also given us that privilege of accessing invoices online. And they've now asked that we even effect payments at the banks or electronically. If they wouldn't even allow you to bring their check to their offices, they ask you to go and effect payment at the banks, and you inform them, then you have to issue receipts and others online. I think they've done quite well as at now. They've done quite well. The only problem we are still having with them is the fact that most of our principals are still don't know what the directions are, and therefore their containers are still sitting at the port. And for the next 2 weeks, we're still talking to them to see if they can give us some waiver on the demurrage charges that we're supposed to.
Okay, we'll come back to that, but I still wonder how your principals will still be confused if you are getting the understanding, because you're supposed to communicate to your principals.
We have communicated to them. Now the communication ends there. How do I move away from my house to the warehouse?
They're supposed to get permits as well. I thought, okay, let me have AC respond to some of that.
Yeah, I'm surprised that Yao is making this allegation or this thing. Because on the first day, I issued passes to all of them. Those who were ready to accept the pass, they came. And then I remember they all wrote their names, and then I issued.
The freight forwarders?
The freight forwarders.
Not their principals?
No, not the principals. The freight forwarders came, I issued. Even Integral got his. All of them got. They were all there and issued, thinking that they will be able to come to work the following morning. And when they come and they make requests that, yeah, my importer is coming, I'm going to collect for my importer coming with a truck, I will issue. Because I remember an agency came to me and said that the agency was to clear 18 containers, and then it was 40-footer all, and then the drivers should be 18. I issued all the 18 to him, and then he came. The drivers came and picked the containers. So when you need when you come and you need that, I want to clear. My driver is one. My driver stays. I will issue it to you so that the driver can come and carry the goods, because you all need the revenue. If you don't make the request, my job is to issue to agencies, those who have work to do. That is why we have limited the number to 3 now. After the two days expired, I started issuing, and now I have made it open. It is a temporary pass, and so I don't have to go beyond the limit that has been given to me. These are all checks to reduce movement of people, so that people can lock down in their home. It is only to those who have work to do at the port, because all the agencies have been told that you can send your machines home and do the creation online. That one is acceptable. But the physical presence of examination is what you are required to come to the port. So I don't have to issue 10 or 20 to all of you. What are you going to do? Unless you have many boxes, because when you come, we ask you, do you have containers Golden Jubilee? How many? Do you have containers at MPS? How many? And then based on your intentions and then the work you are going to do, then we issue you. And then we tell you that it is not for individual. Thinking that after, when the staff or the worker finishes the work, the pass should come to the agency, so that if you have work to do at the port, then another person can come. It's like when you are coming to pay money to the bank, this is the pool, the pass is the pool. Give one to somebody to come to come and pay. Then you come back to your office, and then the creation will be processed. Compliance will send you for examination. Then it is then that examination officer will pick the pass and go to either MPS or go to GP and clear. And then therefore I don't need to issue more than necessary. Okay. And therefore, yeah, it is all to contain
the number of people.
The number of people
yeah. I think this side is very essential, and the reason I keep trying to make all of us understand. On my way here, I saw some military people who said, hey, when we stop some of them, they say they all have business to do with the port. Do you people work on Saturday? Do you work on Sundays? We need to get things clear so that people are not embarrassed on the road when they are trying to go do business. And like Mr. Yache is also saying, so that we don't have goods stuck there, with the reason being that, and if he is saying this, it means that that's the reason their principals are also being given. Mr. Mavi, has there been a difficulty for the principals to assess some of these passes, if it's online, from GPHA side?
For us, we depend on the agent. When the agent gives us information that aside my field operators, aside my field clerks, I would need a driver to come and pick this, I would need 1 or 2 to come and join. We interrogate it and then we accept and issue the permit. Our problem is we feel that it will be difficult for most of them to leave their homes. So why don't we try to solve that problem other than making them come to us and then also bringing that personal contact to us. So when you call and you are able to go through and we send you the information, you can easily print it from your home. When people, a lot of them have sent their offices to their home. They are able to print it and then they move out of it. And we've not had any issues so far from the freight forwarders. But what I want to say is that there is a minority who have come to us for permit.
Okay.
Is a minority who have come to us, and maybe because customs have started issuing the pass to them directly. That's why minority are still, some do, but the very minority are doing it. Those who have haulage companies and other things.
Okay. But why is that? Why is it that a few people are assessing? But I thought all freight forwarders were supposed to assess your pass before.
No. What I said was that we're doing it either way. Okay. If you get a GRA permit, you could come. Okay. If you get our pass, you could come. You see, when we started, we had very limited time. So when we're planning, we tried to plan for everybody. We took care of the freight forwarders, we took care of the shipping agents, and then the other port users. So when it was a welcome news when customs was issuing, but the difficulty they had was, how do I walk out of my house to come and take it.
Okay.
But we saw that if somebody could also come to us, we could also help as far as that area is concerned.
Okay. So I see the questions coming in a lot. The number, you can send your WhatsApp on 055-901-9177. The number you can call when we return from break 020-552-8353. The numbers are on your screens. We'll return shortly after the break, and then we will continue.
Here's innovation from Goyle that takes you further. New Gold Super Synthetic 5W20 and 5W30 lubes have been expertly crafted with the latest in liquid engineering technology, highly advanced for modern engines, prolongs oil change intervals, save you fuel, clean, protect, and enhance engine performance. The way engines work has become complex, and Goyle has innovated to stay ahead. Expertly crafted lubricants that work excellently with all petrol and diesel engines of today. New Goyle Super Synthetic 5W20 and 5W30 lubes. Innovation that takes you further. Goyle. Good energy.
Dear valued client, the Ghana Trade Hub mobile app is now live to make it easy to track your consignment and know the estimated duty payable for both general goods and used vehicles. We are pleased to inform you that the Ghana Trade Hub mobile app is available for download on Google Play Store for Android users and the App Store for Apple users. The Ghana Trading Hub mobile app is now live. Download and never be cheated. This is powered by the Smart Ports project under the auspices of the Government of Ghana and the Ghana Revenue Authority. Smart Port, improving Ghana's ease of doing business.
Electricity, then pay your taxes. Our taxes, our future.
Because you see, without our taxes, we wouldn't have good roads, good schools, better hospitals, street lights, and other very important social amenities. When we pay our taxes, we give our children free and quality education. Talga, my money too small. Why should I pay my tax? Look, small. Salifo, it doesn't matter how small or big your business or income is. You still have to pay your taxes. The little taxes from each and every one of us, when put together, could give your community clean water. Or that deprived school with tables and chairs. Please pay your taxes. It is your responsibility. It is your civic duty. It is the law.
Oh, how are you?
Hi Yvonne, a few words please. Everyone is talking about the fire at your production house last week. How are you holding up? Has production stalled?
No, not at all. My crew and everyone on my set is perfectly fine because I insure with Serene Insurance. As a matter of fact, I've had all my equipment replaced, including the vehicles that were affected. My workers have been sorted out. Even my production downtime has been covered, so it's all good. I have a meeting to attend to, so I have to get going. Sorry about that.
Which insurance company did you mention?
Serene Insurance, the new face of insurance, a member of First Sky Group.
Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, GPHA, has stopped the issuance of manual toll for Terminal 3 and Golden Jubilee Terminal since Friday, 13th March 2020. We urge all drivers and owners who have not yet processed their cards to do so. GT Bank has mounted a stand at GJT to issue cards to truck drivers or owners who do not have cards. Kindly come along with a valid national ID and a passport picture for the registration. These cards are being issued for free and can be uploaded at any GT Bank. For further enquiries, please call 057-609-6178 or 057-323-2384.
You're still watching Eye on Port, and we're taking a look at the effects of the temporary restrictions on port clearance operations in Ghana. And we've established from the initial discourse that indeed there have been some number of restrictions. We've seen that the number of people who are supposed to operate within the port, for instance, has reduced. But Mr. Amavi, I want to find out from the crew of ships and vessels, for instance, has there been some changes, and to what extent is that affecting operations, positively or otherwise?
If we look at the crew change issue, there has been a bit of change.
Okay. Towards what direction?
Towards the direction of, let me just first of all pick it this way. If we have a crew change, we know that some crew, they sign on for about 6 months. So when it gets to a certain point, they have to sign off. So when you get to our port, for instance, and you are signing on, you come through our airport, and then you come to our port, and then you sign on, they take on. So coming from our airport, you have been scrutinized, you have been screened by Port Health, you've gone through protocols that are at the airport, and it's accepted that you could come in.
Okay.
Now, these crew will be escorted to the port.
Okay.
The last time the Filipinos were handed over to our port security manager to make sure that they go straight on board.
From the airport?
The airport.
Okay.
So when they embark and they sign on, what we expect is that unless you are a Ghanaian crew, you can disembark. And then you go through our protocol. So
you can't disembark?
You can.
If you're a Ghanaian
crew.
Okay, but if you're not a Ghanaian, you can't disembark.
You continue from that. So that at least, you know, we are blocking foreigners from coming into our port. Initially, people were thinking only about the airports.
Yeah.
But not knowing that even the seaports were rather another situation altogether.
Okay.
And because it didn't take care of us, we quickly had to come up with some of these guidelines to help government to run it. I think it is a bit okay when we say if you are a Ghanaian, that one you can disembark. Then you would even go through a protocol. You have to be picked out.
Yeah, that's what I was coming to. That when they are Ghanaians and they've been with the foreign crew on board a vessel, but they are allowed to disembark, how do you scrutinize them before they disembark?
What happens is that the Port Health will have to take care of you. They have a series of information details. They do the screening with you, and together with immigration. And so that if there is an issue in the screening, you are sent to a holding area.
Okay.
And then you will be handed over for further investigation.
Okay. So let me ask Mr. Yana, how has the lines received this particular directive? Hello, Mr. Yana. Hello, Mr. Yana. Let me ask Mr. Yana, how has the lines received this particular
Yeah, Sam, this is a global challenge. I mean, it's a global issue that has come up. So I guess all of us would have to put our hands around the wheel and close. I mean, other than.
Okay, can we get it sorted, Frank, because we have a challenge. Okay, so Ms. Amavi, you would know because what has been the response from the shipping lines when these directives were placed?
We've actually not had any hit back seriously yet.
Okay.
What we've had is issues of medical condition that we have actually even gone a step further to indicate that we would need a medical report.
Okay.
But the point is that before the vessel even comes to port, 1 week earlier, you are supposed to notify us. By per protocol, we've given information out. You send an email to us, and then you have a questionnaire, COVID-19 questionnaire that you go through.
Okay.
And, so when you go through that COVID-19 questionnaire, you are supposed to give us details of the conditions. If you should have anybody who has a medical problem, If you have anybody who has fever or whatever it is, you're supposed to indicate that. And you are supposed to be updating the port every now and then until you get to about 25 nautical miles where you can use the VHF.
Okay.
You get it now. So that one you need to be sending. So there'll be a track. So if there's anything, the committee with the incident commander will even be advising you as to what to do until you arrive.
Okay. Ms. Ayana, now you can hear me. So what's been the response from the shipping line community you were giving us?
I'm not sure.
Hello, Ms. Ayana. Okay, I think he did. There's a slight delay, so I'm sure we are pardoned on that.
Like I said, I mean, this protocol came in earlier than even the lockdown, and we are respecting it. I would say initially it was a challenge, especially when the airport wasn't closed, and there was this issue of crews couldn't embark and disembark. But right now that it is as it is, it's closed. We have no option but to abide by it. You know, it's a challenge in the shipping industry. You can have people embarking and disembarking, but like we said, we are not in normal times.
Yeah.
So we would say that we would have to go with it, and we are happy so far.
Okay, and have we had any? We have been seeing from the international maritime news where some vessels are denied some ports here and there. Have we had any of such incidents where some of your members have been denied entry around the ports in Ghana, for instance?
I would say we've had one incident, but I think it was an issue of communication, or let me put it, miscommunication. Because just around that time, we had other people who had crew embark and disembark. So I would say it was that one dip situation that we had. But other than that, so far, we haven't had any challenges. We had an incident that GPHA and all the port protocols were put in place.
Okay.
Anybody, so we are happy about that. But so far, so good.
Okay. Okay, so let me come back here. This one, we have some questions for you. This one says, hello, Iron Port, please. My name is Nene, a freight forwarder, and that I want to know if those of us who are unavailable to clear our goods due to the lockdown will still bear demurrage and rent charges. Demurrage, maybe, Mr. Mavi. And then, sorry, rent, Mr. Mavi, and then demurrage, I will have Mr. Ayana respond to that. Mr. Mavi.
Yeah, as far as we are concerned, just to, in line with the letter that our DG issued on the 28th of March, indicated that rent should be waived based on goods that are affected within the lockdown period.
And has there been any affected goods in that regard?
Once the instruction has been issued out, I think if it comes up, it will be handled, but not specifically have I heard of any issue that has come up for dispute in terms of rent waiver or whatever it is. But I believe that our managers, our terminal officers, our terminal managers have gotten the information, so they would comply.
Because you are clearing all goods, right?
Yes.
Okay. Ms. Ayana, what about demurrage?
Because we are clearing all goods, right? Yes. Sam, I know this is your favorite topic, but let me start by saying that we know that this situation has not been good for all businesses. The shipping lines have been hit, and likewise every other business. Economies are suffering, and so that is what it is. Just like Mr. Garvin said, what we are saying is that the importers are first a customer to the shipping line. The shipping lines are service providers to the importers. And there is always a relationship between us or amongst us. So in a situation like this, we would definitely look at the particular issue and deal with it. Obviously, like I said, shipping is a business of conscience. So we'll be looking at the situations. I mean, you don't expect that your cargo came somewhere in October, and then just after the lockdown is over, you come to my office and say, listen, because of COVID-19, you have to. It doesn't fly because we are all suffering. Yes, giving here, giving there, but we have to make sure we stay in business, because if I'm not there tomorrow, we won't be there. But I can promise you, and I said it on a platform, a group that I was put on to most of those who were there, the clearing agents, that listen, your partners have a relationship with the shipping line. To an extension, if you have been mandated, and for whatever reason, your client cannot receive their cargo because, to the best of our knowledge and ability, the port is open for business.
Okay.
So, but for whatever reason, your client end of the supply chain cannot receive the goods. Yeah. It's imperative that either your client, the importer, makes contact with the shipping line and inform them of their difficulties.
Okay.
So that when all this is over and we are talking about demurrage or whatever charges, we can come to an amicable an acceptable solution for all.
Okay.
So yes, we work with our clients.
Okay. And you have to be informed if they have any challenges ahead of time.
If they have any challenges?
Yes, ahead of time. You are saying that they need to communicate with you if they have any difficulty, so that at the end of everything, you can then make decision as to waive a demurrage or otherwise.
Yeah, all I'm saying is that at the end of the day, they are customers. So if they have a problem, they should alert the shipping line. ASAP. Okay. It could be by mail. They all have their client managers or customer service managers within the shipping line. There's a close, there's an ink in there that puts us together. So we are ready to dialogue and discuss any issues any importer will have. And I'm sure we would always come to an agreement that is best for both parties.
Okay.
Because we have them at heart, and I'm sure they also want us to be in business.
Okay.
And we also want them to be in business. So it should be a win-win for both parties.
Okay. I'm going to run through these questions very fast, and I'm sure they should be scrolling on the screens. The tech is Frank and co should be doing that for us, so that it's not all of them that I can read. I see about 50 of them. This one, Mr. Mavi, I would love for you to clarify this one, that GPHA can only give permits to agents who are coming to work in the port, but cannot do same for laborers who will be discharging the cargoes at the various warehouses. The permits are supposed to be for everybody, the agents and the freight forwarders.
Yeah, when they talk about various warehouses, are they talking about various terminals?
No. The importer's warehouse.
The importer's warehouse.
Importer's warehouse. But that's obviously out of the port enclave. So once it's out of the port enclave, we cannot.
You don't.
No, we do
issue the permits. Okay. This one says, please, as a private individual, and I'll run through this very quickly. I am expecting a cargo to arrive at the Tema port on the 6th of April. How do I go about clearing my consignment? When I run through, gentlemen, you can help with the responses. Hi, I am activist from Tema Community 2. I want to have the IMaH telemedics number to see if I can access such service. So the numbers were put on the screens. They will be put back on the screens. The International Maritime Hospital. That hospital is also located at the Community 3. Yeah. If you use where the Community 3 runabout is, where MPS is, the MPS terminal, you turn left and you go the way there, you see the signs and directions leading you to that hospital. This one says, I am a freight forward. I am done with the shipping line release and it left with GPHA payment. Now the importer is in Kumasi and can't cross to Accra because of the lockdown. Is there any alternative way the importer can come and clear his goods at Jubilee, please, Mr. Mavi?
The importer will want to come himself.
Yes, he says, yeah, I'm done with the shipping line release and it's left to GPHA payment. Now the importer is in Kumasi and cannot come to Accra because of the lockdown. Is there any alternative way to the importer can come and clear? Does the importer have to come?
It doesn't necessarily. He needn't come. If it's
the
payment,
agent can do that on his
yes,
behalf.
If it's payment, the agent could do that. And now we are trying to use the banks to do that. I think if we have a branch of the bank over there, it could be paid over there. ADB and EcoBank and other things could be paid.
I think I sympathize with the freight forwarder. At times, it may not be a homogeneous item.
Yeah.
For example, at times they even come with personal effects, and it could be that in the same container, they may have about 10 or 15 other people's items in the container. And if you dare go and open the container, and there's anything missing, you'll be accused.
I see.
The guy coming from Kumasi may not necessarily be the owner of the goods. They might have even given him the list of items. Now, if you tell him, stay in Kumasi, don't come, I will take care of everything. And for whatever means, item A might not have been loaded onto the container. He will accuse you of
for
having
stealing
stolen, for stealing it.
Yeah.
That's why at times, not in all cases.
No, he's talking about payment.
No,
that's what I say. When you are requesting for, is it payment?
Examination?
No, I think examination.
Is it examination? Yeah, if it's examination, there's a different issue. Then you are okay with that.
No, he says, let me read it. He said, I am done with the shipping lines release and it's left with GPHA payment. Now the importer is in Kumasi and can't cross to Accra because of the lockdown. Is there any alternative way the importer can come and clear his goods?
In fact, he's saying that he wants to, after payment examination, so he wants to be sure that the importer will be able to come before he effects
so
the payment.
let's separate them. Can payment be done?
Yes.
Payment could be done.
But is the examination that is the maybe the
yes, he may be waiting
so
for
that's where the commissioner's issue comes in. If he's moving from Kumasi and he needs a permit to come, and he can take that permit from, because it's the agent who will have to take it on his behalf.
Yeah.
And he cannot take it. But for us, if he makes a request and we find out with the declaration, we check. And because we check with our combis and other things, they see that the declaration is there.
Yeah, but Mr. Yaji, can't you take the permit on his behalf?
Excuse me, before I start, I said that we take source pass and then destination pass.
Yeah.
And so if the importer is in Kumasi, the best thing is to go and see the sector commander in Kumasi. The sector commander will give me a pass to move and come and do his examination.
I see.
So you can do that without the agent?
Okay. Yes.
Okay. No, is that clear?
Yeah, it's clear. But then I also advise the agent, as much as possible, you can talk to the importer to avoid all these things. In practice, it's not that easy. I think you should be able to talk to the importer to have that trust and confidence in him to go ahead and take it. It's only for 2 weeks.
Okay.
Yes, we want to do it on his behalf.
We will come to assume it's extended beyond the 2 weeks.
We keep on having the confidence.
Which is a possibility. So this one says, we are told last week that Wednesday, 1st April 2020 will be the last day for clearing of imported cars until 14th April 2020. Now that the clearing is going on, are we to pay terminal rent after 7 within this period? Is that the case? Is it? It says that they were told that last week, Wednesday, 1st April 2020 will be the last day for clearing of imported cars until 14th April 2020. Now that the clearing is going on, are they or are we to pay terminal rent after 7 days within this period? After 7 within this period?
Yeah, it is law. It is law, and then now.
Particularly to save bond terminals.
Yes, it is in the law that after 7 days, if you are not able to clear, then the rent will start to accrue. And so now it is open that every good should be cleared. And so why should you wait? Other than
they should follow the protocol and come and clear.
Come and clear, yes.
Okay. My name is Abebi Okensford. Please inform the AC that security personnel deployed on the beach road don't accept the temporary pass issued us. I had this experience on Tuesday when I showed my agency ID card and the pass from Ghana Revenue Authority. yet I was asked to go home. Good evening. I plead the deploy customs. So what conversation is your outfit, for instance? This is a national security thing, having with the police.
Yes,
so that
yes,
some of
it's
these
true,
things are
it's
not.
true, it's true. It came up on this thing, last week. It came up. So I quickly contacted my commissioner, and then you know, we were getting confidential reports that the police were not accepting the passes, and so I quickly informed the commissioner. Commissioner made inquiry with the IGP, and it was a hoax. It was not true. And
I
so,
see.
And so the Tema regional police, I called him, and then we all came into agreement, and they started allowing people to come.
Okay, so you and the Tema Regional Police Command sorted this out.
Sorted this out, and then we came to agreement that if there's any challenge, the two of us would talk, and then give commands to.
Is that supposed to be with GPHA as well, so that people who probably are holding the GPHA pass without the customs pass are also not harassed, because they are supposed to go through it anyway?
What's happening is that we've been trying to inquire from people we've issued the permits. So ours is permit. In that nobody has come up with any issue like this yet. So we've been waiting to get that. If we get that, we need to quickly get in touch with the regional commander, see how it'll be national security.
Okay.
It's also on the committee, the inter-agency committee.
Okay, so this one says, please, good evening and thank you for the education. Please, I'm in Kumasi, and right now I have my brother-in-law's car and items cleared with an agent in Accra. Please, how do I go for these? I am worried. How does he go? The agent has already cleared the car, so this is supposed to be between them.
I'll advise you should wait for the 2 weeks and come for the car. Anyway, as the sector commanders just said, I think there's a destination pass, am I right? Yes. If you can, he would have to find a way of sending the copies of the cleared vehicle.
The documents,
The documents to the sector commander in Kumasi, and I'm sure they'll be able to sort it out and give him a pass if he sincerely needs to come down for the car within these 2 weeks.
Okay.
It should be possible.
Mr. Mavi, this one says, would I be able to clear a car that arrives from the United States?
So far, there's no embargo on any
whether, regardless of where it's coming from, you can clear any cargo.
Unless commissioner tells us that this is the situation, and I don't think he's come out with anything.
So far, he can clear.
Yes, he can clear. But you know, maybe if I get him well, if it's coming from the United States and there is an Interpol embargo, you cannot clear.
That's different.
Yes. Maybe he's experiencing that age.
Okay, this one says, please, is the port open to clear all goods or only essential goods? I think this has been addressed, but finally, let me let AC say it. Now, as we speak, are we clearing only essential goods or we are clearing all goods?
We are, as far as I've been directed. The president said that cargo was not involved, was not affected. And for that matter, my commissioner is saying that all cargo should be cleared from the port.
Okay, so most of the freight forwarders don't know how to come to port because the passes was announced to them on the eve of Sunday prior to the lockdown. What of transit goods? Some drivers are not here, but once we've loaded their trucks, they need to come. How will they come?
Yes, as far as cargo is to move, you know that the supply chain is ended when the goods get to the owners, and therefore my plea is that so far as you have goods to be cleared, so far as goods should be conveyed by a conveyance, go to the nearest customs office, take a pass, because people come and then we issue the passes to the driver. So if we are somewhere, just go to the customs office. The sector commander will look at your case, your situation, issue with a pass so that you can come and take the pass. But I'm also this thing. pleading with the security checkpoints that when goods are moving, they should not stop because the waybill is there. They have cleared the goods from the port. The goods must get to the owners. They should allow goods to move because they have the waybill. They have cleared the goods. Even last Friday, they stopped custom officers going to work. And you have to come in. When you see officers in their uniform, you stop. We are also security. Unless they are telling us that we are not security. But so far we are security is in the constitution. they must allow us to come to work. So I'm also pleading that they should allow goods to move from port to wherever is going.
Okay. So I'm going to pick Lord from Tema. Hello, Lord, if you can hear me. But good evening. We want to know if detention charges and rent charges are going to be waived, please. That's been responded to. Hello, Lord.
Yeah.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Please go ahead, sir. We can hear you.
Okay, so I have two questions. My first question is, the President issued the directive, I think, on Friday, and then it took effect on Monday, which was 30th. I was supposed to have cleared my items on Monday, but because the directive took effect on that day, the whole port did not work. We were not allowed to do anything.
You mean the whole port did not work on Monday?
All the containers that were supposed to have been opened on Monday never happened.
Is that so?
Exactly. I went to the port myself. I was supposed to have cleared the items at the Korea terminal, and there are about 4 or 5 containers that were positioned for work. It never happened.
But that's just 4 or 5 of the containers. The reason it may not have been opened doesn't necessarily mean the entire port did not work.
What happened was that because there was miscommunication, and then they said some of the items were non-essential items, according to the information minister, that non-essential items will not be allowed to be cleared.
Who communicated that to you?
It was in the news. Because the items were supposed to clear were cars and spare parts.
Okay.
And yes.
You just go ahead with your point and I'll get the clarification from
Okay. So we had about 2 or 3 days before some of these issues were clarified, before we went ahead to make the clearance. Now, the shipping line charged us, and then the terminals also charged us all the days that, because of these incidents, were not able to work. So my question is, would the shipping line refund those monies to us? And then secondly, the commissioner talked about the pass. When I was coming to the port, I was stopped at one of the barriers and they asked me, I showed him my agency ID and then the temporary pass that was issued me. And then the policeman asked me whether the items what items was I going to clear? And I mentioned spare parts. And the policeman told me that because it's not an essential item, he will not allow me to go to the port, even though I showed him my temporary GRA pass and then my gift ID card and all of that. So he insisted he will not allow me pass.
Okay, thank you. That point is
commissioner to address that.
Okay, but it wasn't. So the policeman had a list of items he considered to be essential. You see, at this point that he's talking about, the fact that he was stopped and he showed pass, he shows everything, still they said he wasn't going to clear essential goods. And then the bit about the confusion on Monday, was there something like that, Mr.
There was nothing like that. In fact, even the AC told us Sunday afternoon when we met that now it's been clear that all goods are supposed to be cleared. So I don't know who gave him that information that we're not going to.
He said his containers were positioned and they were not worked on.
Who did not work on it?
And who even told?
Yeah, so he should get back and let us know who told him this, and then who did he send his document to, and that the fellow said, no, we are not supposed to work on these containers. He should get those things for us so that we can help him.
Is he?
Yeah, I believe, this thing, the directive came that all goods cargo should be cleared. And another the directive source came, the source I can't tell. But now as the policy makers are listening to us. They can come out and then give us a concrete direction. But so far as I'm concerned, I'm answerable to my commissioner and commissioner general. They have told me that all goods must be cleared, and so not until a counter directive is given, people should know that all goods are being cleared.
Okay. But the initial one, who actually gave that initial directive?
He should help us.
Okay.
He should help us.
Okay. So Deborah is calling us from Tema. Hello, Deborah. Hello, Deborah. Okay, let me read this one. This one says, how can staff from the banks, GPHA, MPS, FDA, shipping lines, and the rest are using their institutional ID cards? Why should freight forwarders need a special IDs from customs to work as freight forwarders? Are the others using their ID cards and only freight forwarders having to have the special pass?
Yes, so far as I'm concerned.
Okay, is there a reason for that?
After the national security meeting closed, I was told that Bank of Ghana issued a directive to the banks to go and work. And so as to what arrangement was made, I wouldn't sit down and say. But so far as I'm also concerned, my commissioner called me that I should issue passes to the agencies, and that is what I've done from Sunday up to now.
Okay, this one is wondering if you couldn't have done things online. It's coming from Edward Osei-Tutu, Achak executive member. He says, please, it's very imperative for customs to know that this issue of permits is a contingency that is practicable online, that is electronically. Is customs not having the requisite IT infrastructure for this? Could you have done it online?
But how can you get the live stamp and then the signature?
The signatures as well. Okay, so Richard from Kumasi. Hello, Richard.
Hello.
Yes, Richard.
Yeah, I'm on.
Hello, Richard. Please go ahead.
Yeah, I'm calling from Kumasi.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Yeah, hello. Good evening. Yeah, I'm important. I have a question to ask.
Please go ahead, sir. Okay. Are we having problems with Richard? We can take it off.
I can hear you.
Then go ahead, sir. We can also hear you.
Yeah, I have a question. I am an importer. My container just arrived today. And I want to... I said I have a container that arrived at the port today.
Yes.
I'm in Kumasi.
Yes.
I want to find out from the commissioner if it's possible I can come myself, and how do I come? Because currently I'm being locked down in Kumasi here, and my agent is trying to do all his best to get my container, everything paid. I've sent you the money to work on, but my problem is the stuff in the container. I don't have it on my own. How about 3 different people's stuff in my container? So how do I can't just hand it over to my agent to work on it. I need to be there in person to open the container myself.
Let me let the president of the Agents Association talk to you.
What's the name again?
I'm not sure. Richard. Yeah.
Okay, Richard. There are 2 issues with this. You either see the situation as quite abnormal, and that trust the agent, have the confidence in him, and let him go ahead and take delivery for you. Just try to see if you can give me a packing list of all the items you have in the container, and just have that trust in him and hold him responsible for whatever list you give him.
Okay.
Or if you still want to come down, then as the commissioner said, you can go to the sector commander in Kumasi. Ask the agent send you copies of the declaration via WhatsApp. Then you can show it to him so he can issue a pass for you to come all the way to Tema. But I think that if you can be a bit more relaxed about the first option I've given you. That would be better.
Trust the agent.
Trust the agent. He will do the good work for you.
So, Eric, from
something, I want to read the directive so that everybody know from Commissioner of Customs. The freight forwarders were to liaise with you so that we know who really are ready to clear their goods. This means that the freight forwarder would have had discussions with owners of the goods first, and the latter would have indicated their readiness to take delivery of the goods. This also means that arrangements will be made with suitable vehicle owners to cut the goods. When all these are in place, then the freight forwarder can ask for passes for those involved in the clearance chain. So the freight forwarder will have to talk to the owner. I'm going to clear your goods. And then the owner will indicate, yes, I want to come. And then you, the clearing agent, will have to come for pass.
On behalf of the
importer. Or you go to the nearest customs office and take a pass and come.
Is that difficult? I thought, Mr.
In practice, it's not.
It's not a big deal.
No, it's a big deal. It's a big deal.
Now, going to the customs office to get a pass on behalf of the importer.
You see, the processes does not end at where you are going to take delivery of the consignment. If I have a consignment and I even want to start the processing, what do? GPHA was asking for a copy of the declaration. An importer sitting down in Accra sends you via email the packing list, the invoice, and all that for you to start the processing for him. You've done all the processing. It's up to payment level. He may have to go to his office and write a check for you, or a banker's draft, or maybe take some cash and pay into your account of retrieving a bank account for the process to begin. How does he move away from his house to his office to do all these things? Mind you, everybody's in the house now.
But that's why you can access the customs and then get the pass on behalf of your importer, because you can move.
That's even the beginning. It's the beginning of the process. GPHA will not give it to you because you don't have a declaration number. So GPHA is out.
So this difficulty was at the beginning.
At the beginning.
Now it's sorted, isn't it?
Yeah, now it's sorted. Partially because even the security people are even helping us with identifying us with our ID cards, with the biometric ID card issued by GPHA and issued by MPS.
So I think that there should be a lot more collaboration with the other
security,
police
and I think that we should collaborate a bit more, much more better than what we are doing now.
Okay. So how do I, as an importer, pay the duty for my containers at the port? Normally, I go to the bank and then make a draft and then bring the check to the agent in Tema. But now that we are on lockdown, how do I go?
That's exactly what I'm saying,
Okay, so I am sure that the rest, we can have them run on the screens and then take the last bit of advice from the gentleman in the studio as well as our distant guest. If the container is in the green channel, will it still be opened for examination, which will require the need for pass?
Excuse me.
If the container is in the green channel, will it still be open for examination, which will require the need for pass? That's coming from right.
Yeah, if it is green channel, that means examination will not be done. But a pass will be needed for the truck driver or the agent to come and convey the goods to you.
If I have a client from Burkina Faso, how do I obtain permit for him in cross-border lockdown season? Gomez, you have a big job to do. Mr. Mafi, is there any advice for you?
Yeah, but has he got any rep here? Has he got an agent here?
He didn't state, but he should have.
He should go through even the Burkina Faso Chamber of Commerce or whatever it is to facilitate, because we have recognized them.
Okay. Sami, we that are outside Tema and we are working with GRA, how do we go out and work? Thanks, my name is Eddie in Kumasi, because I'm using the temporary pass that they issued in Tema, and that was for only 2 days. That's the 30th and 31st of March. He's in Kumasi now, and the 2 days one is the one he has. How does he get an extended one?
He's in Kumasi now?
Yes.
He should go and see the sector commander in Kumasi.
Can even show him the
Yes. You should go and see the sector.
And then can have it extended.
Yes.
Mr. Ayan, I'm going to give you your last part to. Is there anything we can learn from this whole practice within this season, and what advice would you give to the other stakeholders that you work with?
Yeah, thank you, Sammy. And I think you've all done a very good job of what we set out to do. I just heard somebody talk about the green channel. This should be the time that we should try and deepen the paperless process. I mean, if customs is really going to abide by using or sticking to their risk channels, and then you have green, I mean, a green channel, why should the agent even go to court? Let the drivers go and pick up
okay.
cargo.
I think, Mr. Anna, we have a difficulty with your, I think your phone is ringing, so let's sort that one out real quick and then you can give us your last bit. But Mr. Ajay, finally, what advice are you giving to your colleague freight forwarders and also the general public in these times?
Well, to my colleague freight forwarders, I would like to say that kudos to you for the wonderful work you've done so far, cutting down the numbers. And anybody who visits any of the terminals will realize that the numbers have drastically gone down. There are a few of us who still congregate at the long room for whatever, maybe some of them, I don't know whatever they could be there for. I will advise that the risk is real. Let us all try to go by the dictates or the directives given by the government. And but then we've done so well, and those of us who can easily also work from our various homes, let's do that, especially our staff members. They can easily send their declarations from the house. They may not need to come to the offices every time. Maybe once a week you can come and just do some reconciliation. But then the office staff can simply sit in their homes, even on their phones or their laptops. They can easily send their declarations. So I will advise that let us adopt these systems, especially in this time of paperless. I think that it's a good time for us to make use of the paperless. The only time we may have to come to the port will be maybe to effect payment at the banks and go in for examination. That's the only time we may physically have to be present. All other times, let's try to be a bit more innovative and do things outside the office. I'd also like to entreat our stakeholders, that customs, GPHAs, and security agencies, to get us involved when some of these things are being planned. It will help all of us because we form a greater majority of members who go to the port, or staff members who go to the port. I'm sure we're talking about 2,000 in numbers. Now, when it comes to such a situation, you need to make us part of your planning process. Not that you plan, then you rope us in midway. It makes everything a bit more confusing. For example, on Sunday, we got to know that passes were issued. How many people got to know that passes were to be issued on Sunday for them to come and work on Monday? So I think that let's open it up and let's get all ourselves involved in planning for some of these things, because the risk is not only for a section of the people, it affects all of us. Okay. All of us.
And you mentioned the paperless bit, and I'm interested in that. It means that whole exercise has indeed be of significant help within this period.
Paperless is more important to us, even more than ever.
I see.
Yes, now you can.
And it's been useful so far.
It's been useful, very, very useful. You can easily sit in the comfort of your home and do all the processing. The importer, just send all your declarations by email. Invoice, packing list, bill of lading copies. You send it to us by email. Our staff in the house would also respond to that and send it to customs for the report, CCVR. If it's ready, you can just input it and send the declaration to you by email. You know the amount to be paid. You can easily even go and pay the amount at a bank. You don't even need to come to Tema at the bank. It will reflect here. We will go and start the process, go to the shipping lines and do the releases and others and get the goods out for you.
Okay, let me go to Mr. Ayana and take his last submission. We got interrupted by the music at the background or the phone call. Mr. Ayana, if you can hear me, you can go ahead with your final submission.
Okay, let me go to Mr. Ayana and take his last submission. Yeah, Sam, just to make it quick, to make it very quick for everybody, I think this is a very good time and an opportune time for us to deepen the paperless process. Okay. And then we have to look at, review all our processes also. When I mean all the stakeholders, I think there's a lot that we can do. I mean, not just under COVID-19, but after COVID-19 even, we should up the professionalism and then make business easy, and then make processes also easy. This is all good for us. But my advice to everybody is this is real, and people should stay home, adhere to the protocols, and I'm sure we will all get out of this safe and sound. Thank you very much.
But how would you want this engagement to begin? Who should initiate what, so that we can deepen the engagement, as you said?
The engagement is already ongoing. I mean, I'm proud to lockdown, etc. I have been in constant communication and coordination with GPHA. It's high time I invite the freight forwarders to come on board. And listen, the doors are open, but I think we might probably use GPHA as the lead person in this whole dialogue. I think that would be a way to go.
Okay. Zamavi.
Yeah, thank you. All we asking from our colleagues in the other side, stakeholders, is understanding, cooperation, and adherence to the protocols that we've set in place. We always are saying that no situation is perfect. We are open to suggestions to polish up whatever we are doing and make sure we all come onto the same platform. But we're begging and pleading with our stakeholders to stay healthy and strong enough for us to continue doing the business even after the COVID-19. Thank you.
Thank you. Izzy?
Yeah. In times like this, we need to be very careful and stay safe. My advice is that the port is working, but if you don't have any business doing, listen to the advice and stay at home. If you have business doing, if it is examination, officers are there. They are professionals. They know their work. And if you are coming to the port, officers are protecting themselves. If you are coming to the port, you must also protect yourself. And then I will also entreat all the stakeholders. It's a national crisis. National security came out that we should control people from leaving their homes. The members of national security met. Some of us were not there, and we have to carry the mandate. And so when there is a directive, we must all try and to take it on board and see how best all our interests will be met. It's a win-win situation here. We need all of you. We need all of us. All of us. We need to be safe. So that at the end of it all, we have hope that this virus will be cured, and then the port will come back to normalcy, and the needed revenue will be obtained.
Revenue always
for the government. We take the revenue, we facilitate it, and then we make sure the security of the country too is assured. Thank you.
So, Mr. Agbaga says, my take and advice to all stakeholders in the clearance chain is to strengthen the application and using the electronic channels for clearance purposes. A lot has been talked about paperless electronic purposes. And the last bit I'm going to give Mr. Amavi and AC is, within this period, what advantage do we take of whatever has taken place and lessons we have learned to push for this intense paperless, overall paperless procedures?
I think this has been a very good lesson for all of us. Hitherto, we always would want to be working on site. It has given us a test of time to be able to look at how we can polish our paperless system and work virtually. And it has a tendency also to save us from issues of fraud and other situations as well. So I think together as Ayana said, we should pull our strengths together and see how we can move forward and polish the paperless.
How soon do you think we can begin some engagement? A lot of them are charging that the authority takes charge.
Probably just immediately after issues are resolved on the virus, we can push ahead.
Okay. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for the engagement. And I see the calls will not stop coming. The texts are also not stop coming. So, but we must end at some point. All the messages we've seen, the producers are going to try to get in touch with you, because those are some basic questions regarding the clearance, and the commissioner as well as the others will definitely be glad to assist you to clear your goods. But I hope you have also learned all the lessons. Mr. Yauchi is the president, Association of Customs House Agents, ACHAC. Mr. Joseph Eduche is the Assistant Commissioner of Customs, the Tema Sector Commander. Mr. Gavin Amavi is the Corporate Monitoring Manager, Ghana Port and Harbours Authority. And Mr. Adam Imoro Ayana is the Council Member, Ship Owners and Agents Association of Ghana, who joined us from a distance. Thank you, gentlemen, for coming. And thank you also for watching. I hope to see you next week, coronavirus free. The president, though, will be giving an announcement. We'll be talking to the nation at 9 p.m., I'm told, by the Information Minister, Kojo Ponkroma. And Information Minister Kojo Ponkroma, happy birthday. Thanks for watching.